Way before Gitmo became Gitmo, this movie came out and suggested Gitmo was exactly the kind of place that might eventually become Gitmo. What? Look, this score may seem dated as hell to most of you, and objectively, it probably is, which is why I'm going to go ahead and sin it. But I also know every note by heart, and it's my happy place, so it kills me to do it. See what I do for you people? Hey, remember this movie starts out with an accidental murder, and they actually show Willie getting attacked? I'm not lying, I legit have seen this movie over 40 times, and even I forgot that it didn't start with Demi Moore walking by the drill team. But also, this is the crux of the whole movie, the Code Red. But the is it for? Later we hear that some dude gets glue poured on his hands for dropping a rifle, and another dude was on barracks restriction because he broke into the officers club. So what's this supposed to do? Bounding, gagging, and shaving Willie's head is gonna make him run faster? I know there's a variety of Code Reds, but this one just doesn't make any sense. As I see the composer credit here, I'm reminded that this scene also doesn't contain any score. It just lets the drill team do their and take their time. And you bet your sweet, sweet can, and I'm taking a sin off for the One of the most iconic opening credit scenes of all time deserves a sin off, if only because none of these fools drops their rifle, but also because it speaks to the movie's themes about conformity, rules, rituals, and working as a team. Wait, is that the first time we've ever removed sins back to back? It is? Remove another one!
Would you like to sit down?
I'm fine, sir.
Have a seat.
While this scene does illustrate the military power dynamic, in addition to the female perspective of subordination, I'm wondering why the hell Joe would want to stand during an entire meeting about a f***ing case in the first place.
I thought this Code Red wasn't going on anymore. Well, we better find out before the rest of the world does. Damn thing could get messy.
Yeah, but Code Reds have been going on forever, right? You're telling me this is the first time someone's ended up dead? That can't be the case. This wasn't even that violent in comparison to other they mentioned.
It was $10 worth of oregano. Yeah, well, your client thought it was marijuana.
How's this even an argument? I know perception of marijuana use has changed since 1992, but that was oregano. There is no charge there, and there is no possession there. I love this scene as much as anyone, but it's essentially total bullshit excuse to show simultaneously what a up and a genius Kathy is, and that is it.
Excuse me. Sorry I'm late.
Not only is there no reason for Kathy to be late to this meeting, he really isn't late to this meeting. Like, they literally just finished sitting down.
What's a fence line?
Sam?
A big wall separating the good guys from the bad guys.
It also has the ability to shut down the government for several weeks, provoke national emergencies, and temporarily turn Twitter into a nuclear wasteland.
Meantime, go and see Lieutenant Commander Joanne Galloway with Internal Affairs.
Yeah, but why? She may have discovered the case, but Division literally just told her not to worry about it. I know we all love our Demi and we want her to be more involved, but there's no reason for it. The director said, let's not only have your character eat an apple here, let's have you tearing into that motherfucker. Hold it in your teeth when you enter the room, and then require a receptacle for the core. All in the same scene. You look like such an asshole that the Navy will want to hang you from a f***ing yardarm.
Lieutenant, how long have you been in the Navy?
Condescending first question is condescending.
My jurisdiction's pretty much in your face.
The truth is in your face when you hear the British cannons go boom! Sorry. My Hamilton outbursts keep sneaking into the Sins videos. My bad.
Dear sir, my name is PFC William T. Santiago.
Marine writing narration. Marine narrating?
Well, apparently he's not very happy down here at Shangri-La because he's written letters to everybody but Santa Claus asking for a transfer.
Damn it, why didn't Santiago start with Santa Claus?
Let's transfer the whole Windward Division off the base. John, go on out there and get those boys down off the fence. They're packing their bags.
Jesus Christ, I know Jessup's making a point, but this is a ridiculously diva move for a dude that's about to be on the National Security Council. He's trying to prove something to one dude.
We were commissioned together. We did our tours in Vietnam together. But I've been promoted up through the chain with greater speed and success than you have.
Expositional patronizing? Hey, you know what this movie doesn't do? Even though it goes back and forth between Cuba and DC, there aren't any title cards except for very specific buildings within the cities. Rob Reiner was trusting his audience to recognize landmarks all the way back in 1992. God bless him.
Done something wrong again, haven't I?
Ah, relax. Cocktail was like 4 years ago. Some people actually consider it a cult classic. Those people are dumb, by the way.
You went to Harvard Law, then you joined the Navy. Probably because that's what your father wanted you to do.
Jesus Christ, how much expositionizing can you fit into one movie?
Wow, I'm sexually aroused, Commander.
That's racist. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. Some people think rain is God's tears, but I know better. It's obviously his ball sweat.
Someone has been working and playing well with others, Harold.
Sir! Yes, sir!
Man, Caffey's such a kid that I bet he spent the entire ride coming up with that dickish opening line.
Did anyone see you call the ambulance?
Wait, what? Was this before all 911 calls were recorded and stealthily released to the tabloids and later TMZ? But also seriously, that 911 call was recorded and is on record, but Caffey just forgets it entirely after this, even though it would go a long-ass way toward making Dawson more sympathetic to the jury.
What's the code? Unit, Core, God, Country.
You folks believe in God, the omniscient, omnipotent creator of all things who loves mankind and wants them to all come to heaven. But you put his ass third down the list? Behind the unit and the Corps? Marines have weird priorities.
The government of the United States wants to charge you two with murder. And you want me to go to the prosecutor with Unit, Core, God country?
Pedantic semantics aside, that's exactly what Caffey immediately would give the prosecutor. This explains the entirety of the defense, even if it leaves out the specifics about getting the order from Kendrick.
I'm the only friend you've got.
Man, this movie later makes a big deal about supposedly the one time Harold doesn't salute an officer when they leave a room, but he's not doing that here.
Unfortunately for Dawson and Downey, I don't do anything better than I play softball.
Most regrettable flex of all time. Softball? Bragging about softball.
How's it going, Luther?
Another day, another dollar.
Oh my god, this is a scene straight out of a Mission Impossible movie, and Tom Cruise will go on to star in a series of Mission Impossible movies with a buddy character named Luther. And I just wasted some of your time, just like this movie that is almost 2.5 hours long. Smiley. I've seen fall in Indiana, Maryland, Illinois, and Tennessee, and ain't none of them ever had this level of coverage of fallen leaves. These leaves are alive, and isn't it September?
I get sick when I fly because I'm afraid of crashing into a large mountain. I don't think Dramamine will help.
Well, therapy might, or Xanax. Point is, Daniel should look into mental health treatments near him.
I'll see you tomorrow.
What kind of monster honks right after they've just delivered a departing farewell? If anything, this honk should mean that he forgot something and is trying to get Sam's attention. This unnecessary honking has always bothered me, and I can finally sin it! Ha 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 ha!
The Cuban see an officer wearing white. They think it might be someone they want to take a shot at.
Good call, Sam.
Yeah, but the hats are still white, right? Barnes is all safety first, but apparently doesn't care about headshots?
How the hell is your dad, Danny?
He passed away 7 years ago, sir.
Directly after Jessup tells a story designed to disarm the room and tell everyone he knows his opponent and knows more than anyone present, he's undercut with information he didn't know. And it's not only hilarious, it's literally the beginning of the end. This very moment is where Jessup realizes he doesn't own as much as he thinks, and where Danny Caffey realizes this guy is at least sometimes faking his omniscience. Everything that follows from both these guys is informed by this one moment. Once and removed. All hail the Sorkin. The fact that they still have caution tape up here prompted me to think about this movie's timeline, which is super f***ed up. By my count, it's been a week since the incident occurred, which makes it kind of weird that they haven't touched the room, nor removed the tape. It also brings up the fact that Caffey was assigned this case on either a Saturday or a Sunday. I guess it's possible that they have meetings over the weekend, but this movie goes out of its way to show that Caffey leads a very 9-to-5, weekday, non-military life. Anyway, timeline's f***ed up and I had to get that out of my system. Moving on.
Lieutenant Kendrick, do you think Santiago was murdered?
Commander, I believe in God and his son, Jesus Christ.
Classic not answering the question.
But he is dead because he had no code. He is dead because he had no honor, and God was watching.
Look, if people were going to die just because God witnessed their wrongs, then we'd all be dead right now except for Anna Kendrick. Eating outside, eh? Do you like bugs? Because this is how you get bugs.
We agreed that for his own safety, Santiago should be transferred off the base.
Santiago was set to be transferred.
Man, Jessup sure did unnecessarily screw himself on this one, didn't he? Think about it. There was already subterfuge in place when Kendrick had the secret meeting to order the code red. And once that went bad, there was really nothing else to do, right? Dawson and Downey take the blame, the other Marines are none the wiser, bada bing, bada boom. Why even bother with this whole phony transfer bullshit? This feels like a writer's flourish that started at the end, then the rest of it had to be yada yada.
You want to investigate me, roll the dice and take your chances.
Wow, sounds like the words of someone we should definitely f***ing investigate, no? What innocent person speaks like this?
Let's go.
Sure, he has no responsibilities whatsoever and all, but didn't they think to pick Sam up on the way? At least give him a call?
You, Harold.
Even though Galloway hates Caffey, she does not use this moment to get him ripped from the case. Even though she could, because screaming "F*** you" to your client's face is frowned upon in the defense attorney world.
Jack!
This is the longest f***ing day of all time. All time! They've been back and forth to f***ing Cuba, got all the way back home, Joe had time to get Jenny's permission to be Downey's lawyer, they went all the way to the jail, and Jack is still playing basketball? What is this, a f***ing midnight league?
You know what Markinson did for the first 17 of his 26 years in the Corps? Counterintelligence. Markinson's gone.
Movies need to stop acting like there's some upper echelon level of spy where a person literally becomes unfindable or uncatchable due purely to their skill. The spies in the real world that are that good are the guys you never knew their name anyway. This motherfucker is in his 60s. He's second in command on that base. He's a witness in a major trial. That guy cannot just slip into the night and be forever gone.
We did our job, and if that has consequences, then I'll accept them. But I won't say that I'm guilty, sir.
This is all breaking down over semantics. Semantics!
Do what I'm telling you, you'll be home in 6 months. It's nothing. It's a hockey season.
Why hockey? Isn't the NBA or MLB season basically the same length? And doesn't Caffey talk about baseball all movie long?
We joined the Marines because we wanted to live our lives by a certain code.
Really? I thought most of you joined out of patriotic duty, or a desire to lower your future college bills, or boredom. But to live by a certain code? That's some whack-ass shit, dog. I need time to process how whack that is.
What happened to saluting an officer when he leaves the room?
Oh, you, Harold, and movie. He just spat out pure venom about his precious code and the Corps and the honor of doing even if you hate it. Like going to prison for murder instead of taking a 6-month plea deal. But now he's going to refuse to follow the code of saluting an officer because he doesn't like the guy? Harold is a punk-ass bitch and is no more a true Marine than my childhood army man.
Dawson's gonna go to jail just to spite me.
Oh, hi, Sam. Seriously, this character shows up and leaves without explanation a lot in this movie.
I want you to let them be judged. I want you to stand up and make an argument.
Look, Demi Moore is a perfectly capable actress, but it's line deliveries like this that take me completely out of the movie. Like, can you imagine if they cast Meryl Streep in this role? Or like Jodie Foster? I'm just saying, an excellent movie could have been otherworldly.
Oh, please, spare me the psychobabble father bullshit.
This is exactly what I told my college girlfriend after she couldn't get it up. What?
Another lawyer won't be good enough. They need you. You know how to win.
What the hell is Joe basing this on? She's been constantly bagging on Danny's investigative abilities, and he's never been to f***ing trial. It's not like she's seen him in action and she was calling him a schmuck earlier today.
You're gonna spend the better part of a year going blind on paperwork.
Given what's happened since I made the last crack about how long this day has been, I'm assuming this bar closes at 6 a.m. You gotta give it to him. Caffey doesn't mope often, but when he does, he mopes iconically.
Joe, before you come over tonight, pick up a carton of legal pads, half a dozen boxes of red pens, half a dozen boxes of black pens.
This line has been mentioned before in other outlets, but I do want to point out the absurdity of this demand. What even is a carton of legal pads? Also, let's go conservative and say Daniel thinks there are 24 pens in a box. That's 288 pens for 3 people.
The only thing I have to eat is Yoo-Hoo and Cocoa Puffs, so if you want anything else, bring it with you.
What is it with movies and that Yoo-Hoo drink? I've literally never seen a real human person drink that outside of a movie. But this movie, The Nice Guys, Big Daddy, Jawbreaker, Clockers, The Program, Hollywood is plugging Yoo-Hoo like crazy. How many power people do the Yoo-Hoo folks have naked pictures of?
I've been trying to track down a Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Andrew Markinson.
So he's a ghost, a counterintelligence badass you will never find, and she's making phone calls to try and find him? What, did she already try using a signifier or yelling out his name really loud?
What about motive? We're a little weak on motive. They had one.
I'm sure this is explained in the Marine Corps Code of Ethics Volume 43 or whatever, but why are Dawson and Downey being tried together? Like, Dawson does have a motive, but Downey doesn't, right? Why do they both have to do everything together when it's a unique set of circumstances for each of them?
Don't flinch in front of the court members. Something doesn't go our way, don't hang your head, don't shift in your seat, don't scribble furiously.
And definitely don't tell the judge you strenuously object after the judge strikes down a standard objection, because it will make us look mad and experienced and naive, yo.
Your Aunt Jenny? I'm sorry, I was expecting someone older.
So was I.
Hardy har, but honestly, feels like the only reason they cast this character so young looking was to make this joke. And that's literally it. And I'm not a fan of casting for joke's sake, or joking about casting, or joke casting. Can I just take a second to simultaneously marvel and cringe at Kevin Bacon's flat top in this movie? It defies gravity and good sense, and yet I can't look away. It's like you could comfortably nestle a small kitten in there. Anyway, it's still a sin, but it's one of those sins where I'm not really mad at it.
The Schiff reported only one sentry returned his weapon to the switch with a round of ammunition missing.
Who was that?
Lance Corporal Harold Dawson.
This is way out of character though, right? Dawson's a goddamn Boy Scout. Why didn't he report that his Cuban counterpart engaged like he immediately told Caffey earlier? That would have saved this entire movie from happening.
And now we'll never know, will we, Mr. McGuire?
Since Danny's zonked out on drugs right now, I will do his job for him. Objection, Your Honor. Presumes facts not in evidence. Leading the witness. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, but I know Kevin Bacon just got away with an illegal question and answer because Daniel was too naive to know better. Ah, sudden Winklevi.
He was pronounced dead at 0037.
I know Christopher Guest is doing something different, this being a dramatic role, but he really goes over the top with it, doesn't he? It's like he was told that dramatic acting requires a complete lack of facial expression. Holy this is legit the first time she's worn eyeglasses this entire movie. I went back and checked. Just an hour and 14 minutes of movie, sudden glasses! And it's never even mentioned once! I choose to believe Demi Moore needs contacts or glasses, but forgot her contacts on this day of filming and had to wear glasses, even though she doesn't speak in this scene.
There are literally dozens of toxins which are virtually undetectable.
Literally and virtually used in the same definitive statement, and I think that's interesting. It's both definitive and vague as hell.
Your Honor, we renew our objection to Commander Stone's testimony.
Joe goes all Peter Quill here, sabotaging her team due to a flash of anger.
Your Honor, the defense strenuously objects.
Sam, she made a mistake. Let's not relive it.
Hold the phone. Yes, she did make a mistake, but more importantly, how the did the entire courtroom clear out of all other people in 30 seconds flat? Christ, a courtroom full of roadrunners couldn't empty out this fast if they were paid.
Why do you like them so much?
Because they stand on a wall, and they say nothing's gonna hurt you tonight. Not on my watch.
Okay, we give a lot of credit to Sorkin's dialogue, mostly deservedly so, but this right here is so egregious that I've been mock quoting it with my friends for years. So here's an extra 15 sins for its shittiness. Working this hard at the table to eat your food.
I think you're an exceptional lawyer. I watch the court members. They respond to you.
Because he's an exceptional actor, orator, performer. But he's a shitty lawyer, and even you know that. Wow, that ER librarian fell from the skies and looks young as shit.
Took turns punching him in the arm for 5 minutes.
and then they poured glue on my hands. And it worked, too, because I ain't never dropped my weapon since.
But still, you got code redded after one rifle drop? It seems like the Jessup command completely skips regular punishment for mistakes, and everything is code red worthy, even on a first offense. Holy is there no better way for Markinson to reveal himself than a moving car in a public place? Aren't there still parking garages in D.C.? And was good enough for Deep Throat.
Where is he?
The downtown lodge in Northeast.
Markinson is the spy who can disappear at a moment's notice and stay gone forever, but Caffey left him in a hotel room as soon as he popped up?
Dawson was given a below-average rating because he had committed a crime.
The real crime here is Kiefer's assault on the Southern accent. I call for immediate charges. This whole trial is out of order.
You don't still intend to put me on the stand?
Thursday morning, 10 o'clock.
If Markinson has no intent to testify, what the hell was his plan? All he's given Caffey is confirmation about the Code Red order and the info about the earlier flight. Isn't he good at hiding? Can he be kicking it with Tupac somewhere in Tahiti right now? And Markinson kills himself before his day in court, which is basically an insult to the movie and suicide victims and their loved ones. It's basically this: Sorkin needed to rip away the good guy's trump card to make you think they might lose, so he took Markinson. But he chose to do suicide after Markinson had agreed to testify and came all the way to DC. Only after finding out about the doctored flight logs does Markinson have a change of heart, and it's a 180-degree doozy of a motherfucker.
Since we seem to be out of witnesses, I thought I'd drink a little.
I started way before now, because I was having so much trouble finding sins, but yeah, drink up, join me, hate me, become me. What?
You're gonna use what happened today as an excuse to give up.
You fucking devil. You went to Downey's Aunt Ginny and took attorney control of this guy. Then Downey lies. And you have the nerve to bitch out Caffey for this? This is 100% all your fault. The movie never says it, but I will. Joe up everything.
I'm sorry I lost your set of steak knives.
Yeah, but does it have to be 45 successful plea bargains in a row, or just total? Did she really screw up that potential reward? I just want to know the stakes of this decision. There are 4 lamps turned on in this shot, and not one of them is bright enough to burn that white-ass spotlight on the coffee table papers.
I'd choose you any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
This is meant to inspire Daniel, and it works, but it's the most obvious lie anyone in this movie tells. And some characters here are lying about a murder, but Lionel Caffey won tons of landmark cases. Daniel has shown a flair in one case. Weinberg is wrong here, so hard it hurts.
Joanne!
Casual drunk driving is casual. Also, holy shit, he's got Sam with him? I never noticed that. Why didn't he drive? I swear Sam's character could literally be explained as being a ghost in this movie.
I say we hit Jessup with the phony transfer order.
Her glasses are back! For the second time in this movie that has spanned months and months, Joe wears glasses again. I was beginning to think the first time was a total fluke, but now we have a second instance, right near the end after so much time passing that, yeah, I still have questions, damn it.
He eats breakfast 300 yards away from 4,000 Cubans that are trained to kill him.
One of the best movie moments ever, and only partly because it was improvised.
I need my bat. I think better with my bat. Stay here. I'm going to the office for a while.
He does think better with that bat.
Confirmation bias.
I'm special counsel for internal affairs, and I'm telling you, you could get in a lot of trouble.
I know movie is trying to show Joe having second thoughts here, but this is completely out of character, considering she's had a massive Jessup boner that's lasted for more than 24 hours. This is a total manufactured conflict to make Danny seem like he's on a total island when he goes after the Joker.
I felt his life might be in danger once word of the letter got out.
Grave danger?
Is there another kind?
Carlos? Harvey? Stranger?
If you gave an order that Santiago wasn't to be touched, and your orders are always followed, then why would Santiago be in danger?
I almost want to take a sin off for how brilliant of a logical dilemma this is. It's organic, it's surprising, and it makes perfect sense as a defense argument. However, I'd rather renew my strenuous objection that Jessup had to engage in this transfer ruse in the first place, considering it was completely unnecessary.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
How is this line still chill-inducing after all these years?
Those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg?
What does Sam have to do with any of this? How the hell does Jessup even remember who he is? He might as well have called out Aunt Ginny.
Did you order the code red? You're goddamn right I did!
This is a bombshell regarding his case for sure, but it's not an immediate criminal charge, right? He violated the memo that banned the use of code reds, but they still have to prove that that's the reason Dawson and Downey killed Santiago, and that it wasn't revenge. My point is that this scene is framed as the end-all and be-all to this case, but it also presupposes that the jury is totally on board with the logic of the defense, saying the Marines can't disobey an order.
I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull!
Skull pissing!
You don't need to wear a patch in your arm to have honor.
10 hut!
There's an officer on deck.
And just like that, a whip-smart script with brilliant dialogue is submarined by a lame-ass final goodbye from Dawson.
I'm gonna rip the eyes out of your head and piss in your dead skull!
I think you have some very definite ideas about what should be done with Danny.
Maybe he should be taken to a doctor.
You think maybe he should be taken to a doctor?
Oh, and when they call you shrimp, I'm the one who defends you.
I want to be friends no more. Fine. And quit using that word, Quan. That's my word.
I was the U.S. Treasury Secretary. I'm in some position to make that call.
Do you have some sort of jurisdiction here that I should know about?
You give me that jurist my diction crap, and you can cram it up your ass.
The following takes place between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. You have to ask me nicely.
I beg your pardon?
Manners maketh man.
You got any Kung Pao chicken?
George likes his chicken spicy.